good time zone artifacts. And a happy birthday to all of those around the world. We got this event thing to do with March, but also we should look into book hunting first. There's not that many. We picked up a few. We'll have to see if anyone's knows where they all are yet. It's been like a week, so hopefully there's a list. So I'll probably do that first. I can't imagine it's too complicated. Some of them might be tied into the event. They've been doing that recently. I'll have to find out. Quabam. Need to turn up the volume. I decided to try. I did some farming yesterday after stream to try and improve specifically Firefly because I felt like she was kind of underperforming. So I wanted to get better relics for her because I did look at her relics and I'm like, yeah, okay, her relics stat-wise weren't the best options. So I did some farming for those, and I got some better relics. Surprisingly, most of the better ones are all purple, so she's wearing mostly purple now instead of orange. Maybe we'll get orange one day, but she definitely she's got better stats. They could still be better, though. They could still be better for sure. Oh, this again? I actually didn't get this yesterday. That was nice. Everyone underperforms when compared to March? What do you mean? I don't think March is that crazy, is she? Because she's the best character? Really? Huh. You think March is the best character? Interesting. Hit cancel. I hate that the cancel button's on the left side. It should be on the right side. What was I even doing? I don't know. Well, this one, because we're super low on those. And then we were doing something else, but I don't remember which ones. Is it those ones? They are our next lowest, I guess so. Operation Memoria Snapshot. Another event. Oh boy. But yeah, so stat-wise, yeah, she like wears all purples now, and they're pretty high level. Stat-wise, her attack went up like 200 or 300. I don't remember exactly what it was at. Still not the highest attack we have. She's still below most of my attackers, which are above 2,000. But it's better. And her break effect, which is her most important stat, has broken 200%. I guess the recommended, like, though, is 300%, so we're still pretty far off. But it's better than it was. Hopefully we'll see some improvements there. And because she wears the same set as Zhe Yi, I also improved Zhe Yi a little bit as well. Operation Snapshot. Fascinating. But bookshelf-wise, what are we at? What are we missing? 6 books, but maybe only 5 because that one might not be available still. Did we get the other one that was missing a chapter? Did they move it? Oh yes, it's up there now. Okay, cool. We did get that. So yeah, I do want to check if any of these are if people know where they are. New Londinium, another New Londinium. Freight check report. Okay, cool. People know where it is. We'll do this quickly then. So this is in Madame Yukong's office. Looks like they kind of spread them all around. On her desk again. Okay. Just stealing more of her documents. Don't mind me. Cool. March 7th sword training notes. I imagine that's tied into the event. Or not, maybe. It seems like it's maybe just out back in the garden where she was training, actually. Which makes sense. Although that's probably going to trigger the event, perhaps. So maybe we don't do that one right now. Thief. Yes, that's true. I am the galactic book thief. So other ones, sword, hunt, journal, Crimson Thorn. Also in that garden, okay. Arma Correctional Group. Does not say where we can get it. Okay. Yao Qing Recruit Handbook. On the floor in front of the southwest bookshelf in a seat of divine foresight. You mean the place where I looked to see if there's other books? And didn't see any other books? Come on. It's on the floor? Oh my gosh, it is on the floor. How could they do that? And just because we'll make sure. A study in Tamara struck. Did they release it finally? Is it finally a thing? Oh my gosh, it is. There's even an achievement. Find the long lost document. That's hilarious. They actually released it. It's in the shackling prison. In the shackling prison on the left from Grim Frost Hold Space Anchor on the boxes in the corner. Which one's Grim Frost? There's a lot of space anchors. Okay, this one. I love that they acknowledge that it was long lost. Why is Texas Nexus also available in the shackling prison? To think that they even promote their game in a prison. Are members of the club obsessed with it? Yes. So, where is it? Left of the space anchor on boxes in the corner. There it is. Let's see what you found. A book. The variety of inmates in the shackling prison is truly intriguing. Since books are spiritual food for the soul, maybe there is a spiritual inmate who's an avid reader and relies on them for sustenance. Then again, you've always been quietly stashing away various books and even non-books from different worlds in your bag, never quite sure when you'll look at them again. Allow me to pose this question. But do you truly intend to read them? I've read every single one. They are interesting. Thank you for your support. Stay tuned for more upcoming books. Thanks, game. So this book is A Study into Marastruck. You have a faint recollection of this book's title. It appears to have been listed as a recommended title in the Express's databank when you first embarked on the Shenzhou. Several people in the cosmos have been desperately searching for its whereabouts to no avail. Take it along with you. Maybe Don Hung, the caretaker of the databank, will thank you for it. Amazing. Was that both of them? Where did they put it? Where is it? Oh no, it's not. I have to go talk to Don Hung and data. And okay, maybe I do. Maybe I gotta go talk to him. They made this just for me. It's great. He's not here. What do I do? It doesn't, no one says what I actually have to do to use it. Where did they put it? Because I picked something up. Didn't I? Didn't I? What am I missing? Hi, Chunky Chops. Just add those to that. Shackling prison. Let's go back. Maybe I missed something there. Because it does list two. Like, there's 2 pages, but we only picked up... Oh.
Emergency situation. All prison personnel are instructed to abide by the established procedures and act without delay.
You know, I did see this woman behind us when I turned around, but I didn't think about talking to her. Wait, did you take the book A Study into the Marstruck with you just now? Yes, I love to read. It's got nothing to do with whether you like to read or not. You are helping it to escape from jail. I've only recently been assigned to this section of the Shackling Prison, so I'm uncertain about this book's circumstances. However, judging from my experiences, it's likely here for a reason. So that's the reason no one can find the book? Is anyone searching for this book? Please inform them that this book has been apprehended, which is why it's not readily available. My apologies for any inconvenience. In any circumstance, the Tin Lord's Commission will not make a mistake. We will never mistreat a good book. But what exactly is the charge? Anyone without a charge will not be in prison. You're right. Let me do a quick check now. The inexperienced and unseasoned guard begins her search before you. With grievous offense could be a mere book have committed to warrant imprisonment, to the extent that numerous individuals across the cosmos had gone to great lengths to search for it, but all had failed. This is weird. There isn't any record in the system. Could it be that it's not a criminal? That's more in line with my common sense. You are right. You may bring the book along with you. I've got duties to attend to and need to go back on patrol. If you are curious about why the Study into Marstruck book is locked up in prison, you can seek out Jailer Chi-Yi for further information. The new prison guard scratched her head and left. The book is now yours. You finally got your hands on the unfindable A Study into the Marstruck. If only there was a global channel, you would tell everyone in the cosmos who's trying to find this book. But it's just an ordinary book, intriguing in its content but hardly worth breaking into the Shackling Prison for. This only deepens the mystery. Who took this book away, and for what reason was it confined within the shadows of the Shackling Prison, hidden from the world's view? Perhaps finding the answer to this question will not give you a real sense of accomplishment, but have an unsolved puzzle in your mind makes you uneasy. Just as the new prison guard has suggested, it's time to look for Chi-Yi. Amazing. It's great. Yeah, Chi-Yi, huh? Probably in the main area, right? I would imagine. We might have been able to take the elevator, but I'm not sure. So we're just going to take the mirror instead. Carrier package. Hold on a second. Until the prisoners are released, this package will be left here. But what exactly do they place their orders from inside the prison? Never mind. Let's just check to make sure they're not in this area.
Better to lose your golden jade than to enter the
Have we
shack
ever
prison,
had
they say. Guess that means I
tiny
get to keep
Foxians
my
before?
golden jade, huh?
Probably. I don't remember though. That's Jo Duan. Okay. Oh, Jo Yi's back. Chi Yi, are you here, Chi Yi?
Long hours are
Chi Yi's
killing
not
me.
here.
I've gotta take a break.
Ever since the Shackling Prison riot, the Tin Lords Commission responded in force at first notice. Most of the escaped prisoners have already been captured and returned to their cells, with the most stringent measures of security maintained within the Shackling Prison. And then again, nothing is ever airtight. Even if the Spiritfarers, prison guards, and Wraith Warden forego their vacation days and work overtime to plug escapee problems, there will still be certain cunning convicts who slip away among the shadows. Looks like there's still monsters down there. Wandering monsters. Oh, don't mind them. Those monsters are probably here to plunder the stragglers. The Shackling Prison didn't have space for them to begin with. If you run into one, feel free to take it out. No need to report it to the Tin Lords Commission. Just as you regain your senses, you notice Judge Zhe Yi discussing an important matter with the jailer. Oh, Chi Yi! Excuse me, Chi Yi? Madam Zhe Yi, our current detainment task is proceeding smoothly, but there are still 5 convicts whose whereabouts are unknown. Please elaborate. According to surveillance, they did not leave the Shackling Prison after the disturbance. The chances of succeeding will be even slimmer now. Practically speaking, they should be hiding somewhere in the Shackling Prison. It's just that we haven't found them. What's the danger level of the prisoners? Extremely low. Danger level extremely low. Search difficulty unknown. We'll just exhaust the prisoners' manpower if we keep hunting them like this. You notice Zhe Yi and Chi Yi looking over at you, and you realize many things in an instant, though you can also pretend to be unaware of them. Just tell me what you need. Madam Zhe Yi, has this guy been imposed upon by you many times? Many times. This isn't a task that has been entrusted to you. You need not view it as a burden. There are 5 fugitives in the Shackling Prison. Dead or alive, their statuses must all be verified. No stone left unturned. I have been bequeathed free reign of the Shackling Prison by the Tin Lords. If these fugitives are discovered, please report their whereabouts to me immediately. My Spiritfarers will handle them accordingly. Okay. Yes, it'd be most excellent if you could find them, though it'd also be alright if they can't be found. The Tin Lords Commission will treat you well if you subdue every single one of the fugitives. Okay, Chi Yi's here. We saw her. She's a brown-haired Foxian. Except she's not actually here anymore. But she's somewhere out there. But where? Looks like the escapee that Zhe Yi mentioned is in the vicinity. Maybe I'll take a look around. That's not important right now. Escaped criminals? Who cares? Books, on the other hand. Well, so yeah, there's not... no, that's Don B. Before you look down at the Shackling Prison, I have to remind you of acrophobia, which is otherwise known as the fear of heights. The basic symptoms include vertigo, nausea, loss of appetite, loss of balance. In other words, it can be very dangerous for the person standing here. Whether you have wings or propellers, and no matter how much you love heights or fear them, I have to remind you once again, treasure your life and avoid such dangerous places. I have warned you enough about the height. Do you still want to look down into the depths? I want to immediately stare into the abyss. Alright, don't forget that the abyss stares back at you. I hope that you steady yourself. Woo! You seem to hear the echo from the depths. Woo! You constantly hear the echoes from the depths of the shackling prison. That's enough. All the prisoners here know what a good neighbor of the shackling prison you are. I'm king of the world. If you get the chance, perhaps you should repeat this on a cruise ship. Alright. Shadow Guard's Creed achievement. Yep. Alright. Let us continue hunting down Chi-Yi. That's the front door.
I'm not talking until you answer my question.
Chi-Yi, are you here? Well, Hexanexus is here. Bam, bam, bam. It's that easy.
Impressive. Impeccable precision.
Thanks. Congratulations, you've completed the entire beta version of Hexanexus Remake. Since you are able to complete all the puzzles, it must be because Hexanexus Remake is extremely interesting, right? It is. It's the best in the world. You must have noticed that this Hexanexus Remake beta test and development environment isn't your run-of-the-mill one. To be able to heavily market Hexanexus Remake in the Shackling Prison is a whole new challenger for me too. Do you know why I'm massively invested in promoting a new title here? Ten Lords sponsored it? Your lousy game. Whoa, what? Why did I add that part? What the heck? I was arrested for making games. You were? I knew this. Why am I all of a sudden turning against these guys? What happened? I already knew that you'd get arrested sooner or later for putting these Hexanexus all over the place. No, I was a lifetime member. As for the details, we'll talk about when we meet. I'll be right here in the Shackling Prison. Could you meet me if you have the time? I can't exactly go anywhere. Okay. I've sent you the cell's location. I'll be waiting. I don't like that they made me hate the game all of a sudden. That's not in character at all. I love Hexanexus. Good time zone, Idris.
No danger detected. But never let your guard down.
Is that Chi-Yi? That's gotta be Chi-Yi. Come on. Yongjing. There she is.
Some birds cannot be caged after all.
That's not the voice I imagined.
Airport free.
Greetings, you must be Eleazar. I'm Chi-Yi, the jailer overseeing this unit of the Shackling Prison. Madame Yi has informed me that you're here to investigate a case. You're free to enter most areas of the Shackling Prison. However, I am dutifully obliged to remind you that the Shackling Prison is where the Shinjo Lofu imprisons our most dangerous felons. Which is also why I'm not sure why Hexanexus is here. We seek your cooperation to keep everything that you see and hear in the Shackling Prison to yourself, as laid out in our confidentiality regulations. So I'm not supposed to be here? The Ten Lords Commission imposes a mandatory and stringent assessment of those who wish to enter the Shackling Prison, so that all remand and detention orders within the facility can be performed without disruptions. Since you're here for an investigation, you're naturally granted the relevant permissions. Madame Yi has mentioned that you are a trusted ally of the Shinjo. It is rare to hear her offering such a high remark about anyone, so I'm happy to trust that she'll keep mum about the secrets of the shackling prison. I am more than happy to put my trust in you, but it is my professional obligation to remind you, once again, that the shackling prison is not a place where people walk around freely. Please be cautious in your investigation. The shackling prison has a convoluted layout, and we detain prisoners of various factions here. Feel free to come to me anytime if you need something. If you have no questions, I'll leave you to it. Actually, tell me about this book. I've spent the last 25 years searching for it. What's so special about this book? This book has been searched by folks everywhere, but no one found it, and it had been concealed in this prison without anyone knowing. You recount the tale to Chi Yi, and she listens with comprehension. If I were to take into this account these two incidents, it seems to suggest that no one was able to find the book due to its confinement within the prison. However, it is clear that this is merely a coincidence. The shackling prison will not take an ordinary book for no reason. Indeed, we can find only those books of peculiar and perilous nature. They are not to be handled lightly, or allowed to be taken away so easily. Hence, I believe the book is near the prison for other reasons. Perhaps it was left by a guard? Maybe it was left behind by a careless guard, and no one has reported it lost until today. Have you thought of other possibilities? There are numerous possibilities in this world. Even if we discovered the secret, it would only satisfy our curiosity now. There are numerous possibilities. Exactly. It's frequently remarked that Destiny's possibilities resemble a complex web. Yet upon closer inspection, it seems more akin to a single thread. If only this book can speak, maybe it could unveil the secrets of that thread. Alas, it can't. Indeed, I am unable to provide you with a satisfactory answer, even within the confines of the shackling prison. Ordinary inmates maintain a degree of constrained autonomy, hence it is not impossible that this book was authored by an inmate within the prison walls. Strange things have often happened in the shackling prison, and as a jailer, I have seen too many unexplainable things. Even if it were to turn a blind eye, I couldn't convince myself. As such, I recommend adopting the principle of parsimony. When you have multiple inferences competing in your mind, go with the simplest one. Maybe it's not necessarily the truth itself, but it may be the most compelling inference. So, close your eyes and focus on what's in your mind. When you first boarded the Shinjo, your databank had persistently notified you of numerous titles yet to be acquired. Despite the varied motivations of those who sought the book, whether deliberate or inadvertent, none succeeded in locating a study into the Mara struck. Moreover, the shackling prison is a place for dangerous offenders. You witnessed some non-human criminals in this prison, so it seems plausible that the book would be locked up here. Chi Yi reminds the principle of parsimony, hoping you'll cut through the clutter and find a more concise conclusion. In that case, the book must have been arrested, the book was left by a prisoner, the designers forgot to put it into the game. Shush. Are you suggesting that they left out the version that officially went live, failed to fix it in time in later versions, and then waited until now to pass it off as an excuse that the book got arrested? Alright, based on the principle of parsimony, this is not impossible. As such, they have prepared a small gift for you as compensation. Please accept it and never mention this incident again. It appears that you've obtained a sufficiently straightforward answer. I understand the effort involved in pursuing this matter. As a jailer, I will reward you for your effort and dedication to knowledge. Thank you for your hard work. Terrific Mara struck and where to find it. Amazing. Find the long lost a study into Mara struck. That was the best quest in the game.
Let me stay here a little longer in this body.
This place is so warm. It's like a giant. I wonder if there's an event for Intellitron soon.
Then the dragon turns red.
They moved her.
Then the green pine shall shed.
She also sings now? I don't remember her singing. She used to stand over there on that bench. Sir, I've been practicing that elegy you heard last time. Does it sound better now? La la la. Dragons and demons through thick and thin. 600 years of dreaming within. Well, what do you think? You remember? I remember everything, except that she was trying to sing a song last time we talked to her. Yeah, it sounds better. Thank you, sir. I think it sounds better too. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself, sir. What can I help you with? I'm good. Actually, not that. Actually, just casual chat. Okay, my favorite thing to do is casual chats with people. What are you doing now? Traveling. Ling Jie's reincarnation journal has so many once-in-a-lifetime trips to experience, and thinking things through. But while will one lifetime be enough to see them all? I'm worried it won't be. Now that I think about it, did Ling Jie really experience all these things? I'm not really too sure. I don't know if we talked about these things before. Presumably we did, though. I don't know. I guess we didn't, though, because they're not discolored, but maybe because they moved her? I don't know. What are you singing? This song was just the song I was just singing. It's a Vidya opera elegy named Dragon-Tooth Tales. The story is about a high elder, and even though I don't quite understand about what the lyrics mean, I know it's quite a mournful song. I see. What are Vidyadhara elegies? Oh, check this out. Vidyadhara elegies are the traditional music of the Vidyadhara people. Originating from their folk songs, the style is generally that of mournful dirges. That's what Ling Jie wrote down for me in her notebook. I can tell that she really loved these Vidyadhara elegies. Are you Ling Jie? Oh, Ling Jie wrote the Outworlders don't really understand the Vidyadhara's hatching rebirth, so let me explain everything to you. The Vidyadhara had a fixed lifespan, and every few hundred years you revert to an egg so that you can be reborn. However, after the rebirth, none of your memories from the previous life is transferred. So, we are actually two people. Ling Jie is Ling Jie, and I am me. Alright.
You say you like me, but...
So the books are on that side, and we can potentially collect them without triggering it. So we're gonna walk around, just so we can grab them and then trigger the event.
I'm planning on quitting my job.
And that's all the books. Or not. 91 out of 92. Where did I put this one? Did I forget about this one? Oh yeah, this is the one that doesn't actually say where it is. The book is right. Okay, someone says the book is right next to the Arma poster, up on the wall. But what is an Arma poster? That doesn't help me. Arma poster up on the wall. There was another Arma. We did get it yesterday. I thought there was another Arma. Am I crazy? Guess I'm crazy. I thought I saw another one that was Arma. Arma is a person. It must be in the shackling prison. Maybe it's near them. Next to an Arma poster up on a wall. The Arma poster. I guess if we find a poster. Well, that didn't lead to any posters. Oh, there's a chest. Is it taking me down? No, it's taking me up. It's taking me really up. And we're back here. Okay, well. That didn't help me. Because it said Arma was found inside Grimfosthold 2 after completing... Yeah, but that's where I went. I didn't see Arma. Arma Correctional Chemicals Research. Oh, there's a store? Oh, it's the prison cell I literally said yesterday. I wonder who's locked up in that random prison cell over there. Wow, that's actually a thing. Okay. I don't see a poster though. But we'll talk to them. Hello?
Mercy of Sanctus Medicus, bestow fortune upon me!
By the mercy of Sanctus Medicus, if I'm not mistaken, you must be that guy, right? You know me. Did I throw you in here? I wish. Not that there's been something to boast about. Everyone knows everyone in the shackling prison, so word travels fast around here. You probably don't know who I am, so let me introduce myself. I'm a former disciple of Sanctus Medicus and the current chief technical R&D officer of Arma Correctional Group. I'm usually busy developing new products for Arma, but I also sell medicines in my personal capacity. If you ever need a medicine, don't hesitate to come to me. And before I forget, the Correctional Group doesn't take monetary payments, only trick snacks. How dare you covet my trick snacks? Those are just boring old snacks too, but I'll have you know that there is no different from money to us. I also know that you can synthesize thousands of trick snacks with a flick of your wrist. In other words, you hold the reins of the shackling prison's entire financial system. Think of all the profits you could be making if you leverage that. So how about buying something and supporting the correctional group? Okay. Using allies attack 40%, 45% increase, decreases defense by 12 though. Increases max HP by 20%. Yeah, Arma Correctional Group is glad to be of your service.
I have developed some...
Why did you join Disciples of Sanctus Medicus? Mainly because there were too many restrictions around conducting research at the Alchemy Commission. I had investigated layers and layers of red tape, or navigate rather, just to replicate some biotech processes and ancient prescriptions recorded in tomes. It's so bureaucratic. But after I became a disciple, things became much less complicated. After I gained access to the underground connections afforded by the Disciples of Sanctus Medicus, even the approval process for taking time off work was much quicker. I've turned over a new leaf since though. Not really. Or no, not really. No, really. My only goal is to be an honest businessman alongside Arma and Shiratori. We'll grow the correctional group into a large and powerful business as we possibly can. When that happens, I may even be able to pick up where I left off and continue my research here at the shackling prison. Yeah. So what do you do exactly? Arma excels at making products that can greatly improve one's carceral quality of life. Out of the trash lying about in the prison. While he's no doubt a deft hand at creating trinkets, that's really all he's good at. Not me though, I'm an alchemist. Where you see kitchen scraps and trash, I see toothpaste, body wash, skincare products, and more. Where you see pests and irritants, I see medicine, supplements, and snacks. We have an abundance of raw materials in this shackling prison, but there's also an appalling lack of equipment and facilities. Many things you wouldn't even take a second look at outside are rarities in here, and making these simple household chemical products is but child's play to me. All I made in the beginning was toothpaste, but when Arma noticed what I did, he spotted a business opportunity and roped me into his venture. Since then, I've developed many bestsellers for the correctional group, such as Immortal's Delight flavored toothpaste, Flaming Tea flavored hot sauce, even mung bean soda. I personally try out all my products, so rest assured that I can attest to their quality. Of course, if your stomach does become upset, I can supply you with detoxification and anti-diarrheal medication on the house. So is the business really your sole focus? You're perceptive, aren't you? Well, the answer is no. Since we only have one life to live, we shouldn't give our hopes and dreams so easily, don't you think? I'm an alchemist, after all. Even if I'm doomed to eternal confinement within a shackling prison, there's no way I'd be willing to resign myself to a lifetime of making household chemical products by hand. I've been wondering, perhaps certain academic conundrums can only be solved more easily if one is incarcerated in the shackling prison. For instance, the secrets of the Primus Immortis. Oops, I might have said a bit too much. Can we pretend we never had this conversation? Yeah, okay, interesting. So Primus Immortis is the original Immortal that's locked away in the shackling prison. Yeah, the first Shinjo person to obtain immortality. So that's not Arma, but Arma Correctional Group is also over there. Okay, there was another store. I didn't see that. So maybe that's the store? we ran by it the first time. It said a poster, though. I don't know where the poster is, but I did not mean to press that button. Oh, that had longer range than I realized. Guess we're fighting.
Calibrating.
How familiar. I see through you. Together as one.
That's half the work.
Like fire until everything burns to ashes! I will claim victory for fight to live! It came together. Set the seas ablaze!
Free will, or was it fate?
Every victory is
Anyway.
hard won.
Oh, there it is, yep.
Situation. All prison personnel are instructed to abide by the
Well,
established procedures
we could talk to
and act
Arma,
without delay.
but I don't want to. We have an event to play.
Let me stay here a little longer in this body.
I wonder if there's
You say you like me?
Ever since March started learning swordplay from Yenqing and Yunli, her voice has been absent on the Express.
She's left us for better friends.
I wonder how well she's progressing. Where has she been these days?
Who gave you my number? Have you seen March 7th? She didn't turn up for practice. Why don't you just message her? Who's March 7th? Helping her skip class, eh? Your friendship must be pretty good. Your friendship must be pretty solid. How about you take her spot for this training session? No thanks. I haven't seen her. If I can't find March 7th, then I can only seek out her legal guardian, which is you. I'm her legal guardian? I don't think I'm her legal guardian. You can look for Mr. Yang or Miss Himiko. If they're not there, you can find Dong Hung. That's too many names, can't remember. I was ordered to instruct her in the ways of the sword. She can skip this class, but I can't skip my duty. We need to talk about your child's behavior. Excuse me? How about this? You come find me at Orem Alley. I'll wait for you. How did I become March's dad now? What is happening? Agwanithan.
Ah, there you are. I was looking around before you got here. I already looked everywhere, but March 7th is nowhere to be found.
So, no need to keep looking for March 7th? Maybe March 7th is actually...
Forget it. Let's just assume she successfully skipped class. Actually, she's been quite diligent in her swordplay practice and hasn't taken many breaks lately. I think she deserves a day off. Besides, I used to skip classes even more than her back when I was still learning. If I was in the mood, I could train for 3 days straight. But if I wasn't in the mood, none of my seniors could find me. So, I can understand where she's coming from.
Yeah, so, can I go now, or?
No need. I asked you to come, so I won't send you away empty-handed. Since you're here, let me treat you to some tasty food. I'm more interested in you today.
Let's just be clear, I'm not learning how to sword fight.
Let's walk and talk.
I know. Oh boy, we're gonna be wrapped up in something.
Wingsha told me there's tasty food in Orem Alley. Let's go there.
Dumplings and steamed buns. The buns are huge.
A table for two, please.
All right, come on in. What would you like?
Well, we'll have one of everything on the menu.
The entire menu?
Do you think it'll be enough?
I don't have much money right now, you know?
Don't worry, I've got enough money with me.
Everything I say, she's got a counter. Yunli looks at you confidently.
Well, then I'll start making a few dishes, and if you need more, just let me know.
Thank you.
So, you sure you don't want to look for March, or?
No, I've thought about it. She deserves a day off.
Do you usually eat a lot, or?
Yeah. I mean, not too much, actually. Grandpa said to never be stingy when it comes to making friends. So, how big is your appetite?
A bottomless pit.
Ah, then eat to your heart's content.
So, what did you want with me, exactly?
Well, to be more precise, I'm interested in your sword.
I don't have a sword. I have a baseball bat, and a spear, and a hat.
mentioned you before. He said that you're not to be underestimated, and that your weapon has a unique shape. So, I've always been curious about your sword. How the weight is distributed, what material it's made of, whether it contains any special ingenia, and what kind of sword techniques you use.
It's a baseball bat.
Seriously? A bat?
Yeah, it's like a mace more than a sword. You know? You're disappointed, aren't you?
Just the opposite.
Dang it.
This is fascinating.
You place your beloved bat, your most trusted companion, perhaps second only to the likes of March and Dan Hung, Welt, Himiko, and Pom Pom before Yun Li's gaze.
So, it really is a baseball bat. Grandpa said that a sword doesn't have to be constrained by its shape, so, in a sense, your bat is a sword too.
No, that's...
He also
no.
said that a weapon mimics its master, so your bat actually reflects your habits and nature, you know?
I don't... a sword is a very specific type of weapon. That's not how that works.
Let me guess. You're someone who doesn't follow the rules, enjoys improvising, and can handle yourself well against tough foes. Am I right?
No, I actually always follow the rules.
Oh, really? But I never guess wrong.
Well, you just did.
I've come across so many sword wielders who acted all righteous and moral, but were really just liars. Their swords always told the truth, though. They told me that their wielders were just a bunch of frauds who relied on their divine weapons for everything. I've hunted down hundreds of swords like this so far, and every single one of them has been melted down.
Wait. I mean, we already knew this. We saw her take someone's sword. You just take swords by force and melt them down? That's kind of rude.
Yes, but only for those who cross the line. Melting their swords is my way of protecting those weapons.
By killing the weapon? That's pretty messed up.
But just looking at a sword is not enough. Grandpa always says, words and expressions can be deceiving, but in a fight to the death, a sword's movements never lie. The war dance is just around the corner. You'll be participating, right?
No.
Miss Yun Li, for talented sword masters like you, the war dance is a perfect opportunity to show off your skills and make a name for yourself.
We specifically said we wouldn't be participating.
But for people like him, who have already made significant contributions to the Xianzhou, they maybe don't need to prove themselves on the war dance stage.
Is this the girl who was at the artisanship commission when we first encountered the robot?
It has been a while, Mr. Nameless.
And you are?
Who's also apparently Madame Yukong's secretary that I don't remember?
Thank you for your introduction, Mr. Nameless. I'm Shi Kuei, and I work in the Palace of Astrum as the secretary for the Helmmaster.
I remember Jing Yuan's secretary. I didn't realize that was Yukong's secretary, though.
I apologize for interrupting your conversation. I happened to hear you discussing the war dance. And since this person is an old acquaintance, I thought I'd come and say hello.
Help me, she's holding me hostage. Are you hosting any guests, Miss Jikui?
Yes, with the war dance approaching, many guests from afar are pouring in. Mr. Pavo here is one of them. He's from the distant planet Kalevala. Mr. Pavo's planet recently joined the Pan-Cosmic Trade System. He brought his delegation here this time, not only for business, but also to return something that belongs to the Xianzhou.
Miss Shikui, the word gift is perhaps more fitting than return. While it did once belong to the Xianzhou, we faced many tribulations to be able to deliver it here, so it should be considered a gift.
I apologize for my poor choice of words. Mr. Pavo's delegation brought a legendary Xianzhou sword that had been lost for centuries. General Huayan plans to personally thank them at the Palace of Astrum and present the sword as a prize to the champion of the war dance. Mr. Pavo and I were actually on our way there. Since you two were talking so enthusiastically about the war dance, maybe you'd be interested in joining us at the Palace of Astrum?
Is this... I'm thinking... Yeah, this isn't the event. This is the companion mission. The event also had us go to the backyard to check in on her swordplay. But it triggered the companion mission instead. Well, I guess we're in this now. Pavo. Pavo sounds familiar. Don't know why.
Nice to meet you both. The journey to the Xianzhou Luofu wasn't an easy one, but the scenery here is worth it. It's completely different from my homeland. Once the formalities at the Palace of Astrum are finished, I'll find a quiet spot on this street and plant a seedling. And then my mission will be complete. The Sword of Heroes will finally be returned to its rightful owners. I couldn't be happier.
So, what's Kalevala like?
Oh, you're interested in my home planet? That's great. Your Excellency is welcome to visit us at any time. Even though the trade route just opened, it still might take around 200 system hours to get there from Pier Point. But our planet is really great. Sure, it's a bit cold and the food is a bit repetitive and our houses aren't as fancy as those on Pier Point, but that doesn't matter. We've discovered massive supernium deposits, and we're on the path to prosperity.
Wow. I love supernium. So, what's the sword about?
Oh, you mean the Mieka Kivesa? It's an incredible sword. That weapon helped the legendary heroes of my homeland slay demons, and is highly revered. It also has the power to choose monarchs. All the ancient kings of Kalevala received a sign from the sword, showing they were worthy to rule the land. According to tradition, each monarch would plunge the sword into a stone, and only a hero recognized by the sword could pull it out and ascend to the throne next.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Well, those are just legends from the past. No one today has witnessed it firsthand.
Why aren't you keeping it for yourselves?
Well, times have changed, and now that we have a council in place, the idea of a sword crowning a king has become a joke. Besides, it wasn't a native of Kalevala who last pulled out the sword and recognized its connection to the Xianzhou ship. It was a visitor from afar. While the sword holds great historical significance for Kalevala, it doesn't truly belong to our world. The old-timers on council had a heated debate about whether to return the sword. They eventually unanimously agreed to let the Mieka Kivesa return to where it truly belongs. That's the best possible outcome.
All right.
Wonderful. It's an honor to have so many people witness the sword's homecoming.
Let's head to the Palace of Astrum together.
I'm not interested in the sword, to be honest.
But I am. It's the prize for the war dance, after all. I might not know all the stories and legends, but I know a legendary sword when I see one. Grandpa always asks me to go look at swords with him, but he hasn't said anything about this one. It's really weird. But now that we're invited, let's go and check it out.
Well, at least she isn't roping us into sword fighting or something.
Let me stay here a little longer in this body. There you are. Come on. Let's go to the ceremony together.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? We don't need to go here. It's fine. How about that? How about that event?
This place is so warm. It's like a giant
I can't believe he's here. I can't believe he's here.
I wonder if there's
Fine, fine, we'll go say hi.
This place is so warm. It's like a giant.
Hey,
Please
Argenti.
allow me to offer a sincere compliment, my fair lady. Your beauty is as pure as a snow-white iris. Well, if it isn't my dear friend, glad to meet you again.
Hi.
Who is this weirdo? Who is this knight?
I am Argenti, a member of the Knights of Beauty. I was invited as a part of the Kalevala delegation to escort the legendary Mieka Kivesa back to the Cienjo. May I have the honor of knowing your name?
My name is Yun Li.
What a beautiful name! I wonder if you have ever heard the holy name of the pure and flawless goddess Adrilla.
Oh, you're here, Yun Li. Didn't expect you to be so well informed. Well, now that you're here, don't forget your manners.
Manners. Come on. You won't find another granddaughter as polite and well-behaved as me.
Well, just remember this is a very serious ceremony. Sorry for keeping you waiting, Mr. Pavo. Now, let the sword gifting ceremony begin.
Before the ceremony officially commences, I want to express my gratitude to the Knight Argenti. Thank you for enlightening us about the sword's origin and for escorting it here safely so that we may complete this ceremony. On behalf of the Kalevalan delegation, I, Pavel Kalistaya, am here to return the legendary Mieka Kivesa to the Cienjo Alliance, its rightful homeland.
I'm truly grateful for Kalevala's noble act of returning the sword and for the Knight of Beauty's chivalry. Now, as we gather here on the Cienjo Lafu, I officially welcome the sword back to its homeland. Mieka Kivesa. It's a fitting name for a sword with such a legendary past. I still remember the name engraved on this sword the day it was forged. Guyin. It was forged by Han Guang, a craftsman from the Zhu Ming's Pyrojaya Forge.
And that's not what that says. Pyrogyre, flame wheel, that's very different.
Wait.
Hongguang?
Although its blade is worn and cracked, its essence remains as resilient as the Xianzhou Cloud Knights. All it needs is some repairs and polishing by the skilled craftsmen of the Artisanship Commission to regain its former glory. I've decided to entrust this sword, Gu Yin, to the Lawfu Artisanship Commission for restoration. Furthermore, it will serve as the prize for the champion of the Lawfu War Dance. This sword will be wielded against abominations to protect our homeland and live up to the mission of the Kalevalan delegation that returned it from so far away.
Thank you, General. It is an honor for Kalevala.
Now, esteemed knight and delegation members, please head to the Artisanship Commission, where...
No! This sword was forged by Hongguang.
Yun Li! These esteemed guests have brought back your father's last work. Where are your manners?
Oh, I didn't realize this sword was actually forged by your father. Returning it to its rightful owner is,
Grandpa, give me that cursed sword right now. I'll melt away the remnants of that man's curse once and for all.
Oh yeah, her father made cursed swords apparently. Calm down.
Don't be rude, Yun Li. Apologize to our esteemed guests from afar.
I'm sorry.
That's why they don't. That's why her grandfather didn't say anything.
I'm sorry for making a scene, but I have to melt down this cursed sword. I won't let it fall into anyone else's hands.
Yun Li, please, go for now. This is exactly why I didn't want Yun Li to know about this. I didn't want to create trouble, but trouble found its way here anyway. Perhaps it really is divine intervention. Could you, please, keep an eye on Yun Li for me?
Yeah, I guess so.
That is a tall order, but I'm counting on you. I apologize for the unfortunate interruption. Let us move on with the ceremony.
At the fervent plea of Huaiyin, you temporarily depart from the Palace of Astrum.
Unless I'm mistaken, Yun Li should be around here somewhere.
Observe a bit more.
Stop watching me and say something.
Poor thing, are you crying? I'm not sure what in what context or how we're saying that word. What's wrong?
Did Grandpa send you to look for me? I bet he did.
Oh, so now we can be really mean about this. Actually, I'm here because I care about you, but I don't care either, so... No in-between option, huh?
Just so you know, I'm here just waiting for the perfect moment to snatch that sword. And once I have it, I'll melt it down before anyone can react. Don't even think about stopping me. No one can stop me.
You think I'm gonna let you cause more trouble?
You do have some skill. But now is not a good time to try to stop me. Have you heard of cursed swords? That sword is one.
You actually don't know that. So it's like a sword that's been cursed?
I guess that's what it means, literally. A cursed sword lets anyone, even a complete novice, wield it with insane skill. Just by holding the hilt, even the weakest rookie can brandish it with incredible speed and strength.
Actually, you know what? We did encounter a sword like that or something in an earlier storyline. I don't remember what it was though. Wow, March could... I don't like either of these. We'll go with the first one.
I'm not joking around. And I'm not making up some crazy story. While a cursed sword grants instant abilities to its wielder, it comes at a cost. It's like continuously adding fuel to the forge. With each swing, the sword drains the wielder's blood and essence. Day by day, the fuel will run out, leaving nothing but an empty husk. Soon enough, there will no longer be a person wielding a sword, but a mindless, killing machine, consumed by bloodlust and murderous thoughts.
Yeah, this sounds familiar.
I wonder if you've ever heard of a creature called a heliobus.
Oh, okay.
It loves to feed on human emotions and memories, and excels at manipulating its hosts. There was a lunatic swordsmith who infused metal blades with heliobi, as he was obsessed with turning weapons into living things. And this is how cursed swords were made.
Oh, maybe it was a heliobus that was making the person a sword master or something. So your father sealed the heliobus inside the sword?
I know. I shouldn't have caused a scene at the sword gifting ceremony. But I've thought this through. If I don't make a fuss now, that cursed sword will cause a whole lot more trouble. So it's better if it's me causing the trouble.
Poor Heliobi. Even when people are doing bad stuff, they're still getting the short end of the stick. They can't win no matter what.
By the way, aren't they supposed to be taking the sword to the Artisanship Commission for repairs? Why haven't they come out yet? Any idea?
Probably because they know you.
Looks like they're not going to show up here. I'll just head straight to the Artisanship Commission.
No.
It doesn't matter why Grandpa chose that sword. I won't let it fall into anyone else's hands. I'll track down every single sword he forged and melt them down one after another. Just like I've been doing all these years. I have to go now.
Is she planning to sneak into the Artisanship Commission and steal that sword?
That's what she said.
Maybe I should keep an eye on her.
Why did you let her leave then?
The Artisanship Commission is so big. Where could she be?
Good quality, good price.
Just a while ago, a girl came up to me, all fierce and demanding directions. She said she's a member of the Artisanship Commission. Do you know her?
No idea who she is. If she really works here, how can she not know her way around?
Was she carrying a massive sword?
Yeah, she wasn't big at all. But that weapon of hers was pretty intimidating.
She was in a hurry, heading straight for the Artisanship Commission, and I didn't want to ask too many questions.
She said something like, "I'm a member of the Artisanship Commission. Where do you keep your precious stuff?" I got scared and pointed her toward Master Gongshu's warehouse, where he stores his arumatons.
Wait, why did you give her directions? What if she's planning to steal something?
Where'd she go?
Where else? Like I said, she was headed straight for the warehouse, where all the valuable arumatons are.
Yeah, that place is filled with Master Gongshu's precious arumatons. I bet they'll give her a hard time.
What are you doing here? Look, if I get into trouble, it's my problem. I don't want to drag you into it.
I'd promise your grandpa I'd keep an eye on you.
Fine. Let's smash these metal cans first. Then we can talk.
Our fortune is clouded. Converge and awaken!
Attack!
Until everything burns to ashes! Fight to live!
Commencing massive ignition. I'm asking questions. Answer me. 0 points. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
No matter. Firefly Type 4 in position.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
This is more than a battle. Set the seas ablaze!
Your answers?
Yin and yang.
Free will, or was it destined for oblivion?
Converge and awaken.
Detonate your weapon. Treason. Stand in position.
Another journey begins. In the still waters of oblivion.
All things in this human creations.
I'm asking questions. Answer me. 0 points.
Yin and yang.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Joining the battle.
A quick divination.
Attack detected. Zap.
Like fire until everything burns to ashes! Fight to live!
That was the last of them. Thank you for helping me out. This place is heavily guarded. But there's nothing but arumatons. Where is the arsenal? Seems like not even those craftsmen know where the arsenal is. At this rate, we won't find anything. And Grandpa might take me away before I can do anything. You're not really here to help me. You're here to stop me, right?
Yes. Of course I'm here to stop you. I can't just stand there and watch you get into trouble. You know, this cursed sword isn't just your problem.
You have a kind soul. But if you want to stop me, you'll have to prove yourself. You probably think I'm being impulsive and unreasonable, right?
You're just like a little too obsessed with cursed swords. But at least you're self-aware.
No, really. Do I come across that way? Well, I guess I can't deny it.
Now you have a chance to explain yourself.
Seems like you've met a lot of people who don't tell you the whole story.
Just tell me everything.
Look. I owe you an explanation. But this isn't the best place to talk. We need to find somewhere else. Let me be clear, though. I'm still pretty riled up. This is just a temporary break. I already told you about Guyan. The sword that was returned during the ceremony. It's a cursed sword, with a heliobus inside. And Hongguang, the swordsmith who forged it, is my father.
Yes.
I rarely mention his name to anyone other than Grandpa. Maybe, like you said, I've been avoiding having to talk about him. But as long as my mission to hunt down cursed swords continues, it's impossible to avoid the topic forever. For some reason, I feel like I can open up to you. Honestly, I don't remember much about him. All I know is that the Pyrogyre Forge used to be a bustling place, with people from all over coming to get one of his swords. They called him the greatest master craftsman since Yingxing. I didn't catch all the details, but I do remember seeing him forge those amazing swords, while the visitors watched with smiles on their faces. I used to believe that craftsmen brought happiness to others. The swords crafted by the Pyrogyre Forge are famed across the stars. They possess exceptional sharpness and invincibility. With these legendary weapons, even ordinary people can become skilled warriors, capable of overcoming the most formidable opponents. But then, he became obsessed with becoming a famed swordsmith, and started crossing all sorts of lines. He forged cursed swords that should never exist. And all those people who desired those twisted swords started flooding into the palace. However, just like Grandpa said, those who excel with the sword will eventually suffer by it. The palace was overrun with visitors from afar. Some left empty-handed. Others got swords that didn't fulfill their desires. And some even resorted to stealing. And in the midst of all the chaos my father created, he ended up being stabbed by one of the swords he forged.
Yikes.
It was so sudden and unexpected. Everything went silent for a moment. all I could hear was the sound of bones breaking and blood pouring out. I was frozen in place, unable to move. It was only when my mother pushed me away from the deadly swing of the cursed sword that I managed to escape. I don't remember much after that, except for the pounding of my heart and the sound of my own gasps of breath. I could hear the smiths in the Pyrogyre Forge shouting, "Run away, Yunli!" And the screams of agony. My tears wouldn't stop. And I couldn't see anything. I kept gasping for air until I collapsed in a pool of blood. If General Huayan hadn't arrived in time, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you now. After that,
That's a pretty crazy
General
story.
Huayan took me in and treated me like his own granddaughter. To me, he is 100 times better than my sinful father. He taught me forging and swordsmanship.
So it wasn't a literal grandfather.
Han Guang paid for his sins, but his troubled legacy must not go unchecked. According to the records, he forged a total of 1,382 Heliobus cursed swords, and 182 of them had unique designs. When I joined the Pyrogyre Forge for training, I made a vow to hunt down all those cursed swords. So far, I found 312 of them, and Guyan will be my 313th. Like all the other cursed swords, I'll separate it from the Heliobus. Then, I'll melt it down and make it part of the Blade of Forged Remnants. I've said my piece now. Even though it'll be tough for Grandpa, I still have to melt down the sword.
I think you should talk to your grandfather about it.
So, you're saying, even though Grandpa knew it was a cursed sword, he still chose it to be a prize because he thought it wouldn't cause any trouble?
I didn't say any of that, but sure.
No. No matter how I think about it, something is definitely off. Grandpa didn't tell me anything about the ceremony. He must be hiding something.
Which is why I said talk to him.
Besides, after our argument today, you want me to go back and talk to him now?
Yes.
No way. At least not today. Maybe tomorrow. Somehow, after talking to you, I feel like I've cooled off a bit. Well, I'll have an honest conversation with Grandpa tomorrow. And I won't take any action against Gu Yun until he gives me his reasons.
Don't forget to apologize.
Yeah. I shouldn't have done that in a public place. Anyway, thank you. We'll catch up tomorrow.
I should go back to the Palace of Astrum and tell General Huayan what happened at the Artisanship Commission.
Wait, was this guy sitting here too with us? Who are you? Could you be, listen, 1 day of work, 5 days off comes with good benefits? What does that mean? Don't play dumb. Is it really you? Just say it. Don't beat around the bush. That's all right. The hexagram said pure passerby will definitely be around here during this time. But be honest, are you pure passerby? Well, I am passing by. What a waste of my time. I thought you were the person who was harassing me a few days ago with a weird username called Pure Passerby. But it turns out you're not really just you're just a passerby. What a letdown. I waited for so long. What happened? You look like an outworlder, fine. It shouldn't hurt if I told you. A few days ago, I was browsing randomly on my Jade Abacus, and there was a young man who just turned adult. He was asking if he could apply for the Divination Commission or the Artisanship Commission. I've been there before, so I gave him a brief breakdown of the pros of the Artisanship Commission. You see, the craftsmen earn their living with their craftsmanship. Wouldn't it be great to have a skill you could always rely on? Everyone in the Shinjo knows that the Artisanship Commission oversees many projects. As long as you work hard, you can earn a lot, if you're lucky enough to invent some kind of mechanical device and sell the patent. So, although you can't collect fees after the patent production period expires, if you're smart about it, you can still comfortably live off the patent fees for decades. Besides, everyone in the Artisanship Commission is a craftsman over there. Skills speak for themselves. There's no office politics, so long as so young people won't be at a disadvantage if they join. I responded with a well-meaning piece of advice for that kid to apply for the Artisanship Commission. Then this pure passerby guy chewed me out just for that. What did he say? He lambasted me about almost every point I made. He refuted the advantages of the Artisanship Commission I raised one by one, and gave me a fierce tongue lashing, saying that the most popular workplace in the Shinjo now is the Divination Commission. I'm from the Divination Commission myself. Why didn't I know about this? The nonsense he spouts is going to lead the kid down the wrong path. I'm not a coward either. We argued for a few days, but it didn't seem to lead anywhere, so I suggested we meet in person and have a face-to-face discussion. Come to the largest freight star skiff of the Artisanship Commission. Let's talk face-to-face, I posted this publicly, so he and everyone should have seen it. He even said he'll be there. So why haven't we seen him? How would I know? I told him very clearly to meet at the largest freight star skiff in the Artisanship Commission. Isn't that here? Maybe this imposter is too scared to come. This imposter has so little integrity and didn't even show up. I came all the way here early in the morning by the star skiff. There have been so many visitors in the commission in the past few days, the dock has implemented an odd, even number restriction system. It's a good thing I came early. The odd number lane is the busiest dock and port in the Artisanship Commission. If I came any later, there wouldn't be any space left. By the way, if you happen to come across someone who looks like this guy, please let me know. If it's really him, I'll prepare a small gift for you. Okay. Well, you know, maybe. If I remember.
Let me stay here a little longer in this body.
I just bought a new star skiff and I crashed it.
Yikes.
My granddaughter didn't cause any trouble, did she, young man?
Yeah, she did. You explain in detail what happened.
Sorry for all this trouble. Yun Li told you quite a bit. Now it's time for this old man to tell my side of the story. Han Guang was my beloved disciple. A rare genius not seen in the Pyrogyre Forge since Yingxing. However, talent can sometimes be a curse. He had an unusual fervor for forging, and he dreamed of forging a sword with self-awareness that surpassed that of humans. He believed it would make warriors invincible without any training. According to him, while weapons of mass destruction like Zhuming flames and alchemical arrows can destroy many enemies, true victory lies with soldiers who fearlessly fight, ready to lay their lives on the line. Usually, Xianzhou swordsmiths infuse a basic level of awareness into their swords to make them easier to wield. But even then, soldiers need to experience countless battles to overcome fear and sharpen their instincts. So
he thought of using Heliobi to impart combat experience.
By infusing Heliobi into swords, he managed to forge weapons that could grant their wielders strength and valor, and even make decisions for them. However, weapons are different from regular tools. They are meant to kill, plain and simple. After countless battles, all the anger, fear, and bloodlust are soaked up by the heliobi within the swords. The soldiers wielding them not only gain strength, but they also become consumed by the malice, turning them into puppets possessed by the swords. No matter how noble Hongguang's intentions were, those weapons, soaked in blood, turned into cursed swords eventually. Later, Outworlders got wind of what he was doing and encouraged him to keep forging cursed swords. They came up with all sorts of reasons, from taking back their kingdoms to slaying demons. And you know what happened next. That massacre took her parents' lives, and the lives of many craftsmen in the Pyrogyre Forge. Yunli managed to survive, but she couldn't escape the horrors of that day.
So that's why you didn't want her to see the sword?
Yes. I don't want her to spend her whole life trapped under her father's shadow. She doesn't deserve to carry the weight of his mistakes. Despite her vow to hunt down and wipe out all cursed swords, fulfilling that vow requires immense effort. Traversing the starry seas in search of the swords is like finding a needle in a haystack. And to reclaim those swords, she has to duel the bloodthirsty wielders, teetering on the edge of life and death. She has taken back over 300 cursed swords, and has suffered the same number of fatal wounds.
She suffered the exact same number, so she's not a great fighter, huh?
I took her in to give her a chance at a normal childhood, not to send her on a sword-hunting journey. Even if she manages to melt down all the cursed swords one day, what will she do with her life after?
But does this sword really contain a Heliobus?
Gu Yin is indeed one of the cursed swords forged by Hongguang.
But many people have used it over the years, and they all, I guess, were fine.
Very few swordsmiths could use heliobi as forging material, and Hongguang was one of them. His attempt came at a terrible cost.
Anyway, Yunli wants to talk to you tomorrow.
I thought this sword could be an opportunity. I wanted to tell her that her father wasn't all evil, that even the man she resents so much managed to forge a true sword of heroes. I also wanted to find a chance to tell her about the history and origin of this sword, but not during the ceremony. As you saw, it wasn't a good time. I've instructed the Artisanship Commission to keep the sword safe in the arsenal. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask the people involved.
Ah, Master Gongshu, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. General Hua Yin gave the Luofu a sword called Gu Yun. Don't worry, General Hua Yin has already conferred his instructions. Right, I heard from my apprentices that a young lady of the sword barged into the commission. That's his granddaughter, right? Is she here to chat or kidnap me? She already promised me that she wouldn't take Gu Yun until we've confirmed the situation. What? She's coming to steal the sword? My nerves can't take much more of this. The Knight of Beauty that escorted the sword at the commission, it is currently in the armory without a chance for compromise or mishaps. You can relax. When I have time, I want to hear that girl tell me why she tried to steal the blade.
Since my granddaughter mentioned talking to me tomorrow, I'll be waiting for her. By the way, you watched over her for quite some time. You must be exhausted, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm freaking tired.
I'll be counting on you then.
What? That's not a reply to what I said. You must be exhausted. Yeah, I'm exhausted. Ha ha ha. I'm counting on you. What? That's not what I said. Doesn't make any
Time to go
sense.
back and find that class-skipping March 7th.
Yeah, time to put March 7th is her apprentice. She needs to take care of. She needs to take care of Yun Li. After finishing it all, you returned to the Express and came face to face with March 7th, caught skipping class. Sipping some milk tea and gossiping, time slipped away. The next day arrived. Dahao. Hey, you there. Are you able to cooperate with us for a bit? Care to come by the commission? Did something happen? Well, I didn't even say anything. How'd you know? That's correct. The commissioner said they received the sword yesterday from General Hua Yin. Today, when we checked, the sword had vanished. Anyway, the Realm Keeping Commission is officially conducting an investigation and is interrogating the relevant individuals. I told them to be careful. Does he know what happened? Yes, he reported the case. Anyway, anyone who attended yesterday's ceremony and lacks a clear alibi will be considered a suspect. The craftsman also mentioned a young girl broke into the commission with a sword in hand. She bears the bulk of the suspicion. Alright, enough chatter. I'll see you at the commission. Now she's got me implicated in crimes, this girl. I'm gonna give her a piece of my mind.
All right, everyone is here. It's time for questioning.
Yun Li, I'm sure you understand why the official called you here, right?
Yeah? But I didn't steal the sword.
She did promise she wouldn't, but...
Unfortunately, official Dahao didn't hear Yun Li's promise.
And promises don't really mean anything, but so...
If we don't recover the sword, we will be breaking our promise to the Lawfu and betraying the delegation. We're counting on you to find the truth, official Dahao.
Did Argenti steal the sword? That'd be crazy.
Yes. It's my duty to thoroughly investigate the case. Even though Yun Li is firm in her words, we can't just rely on her testimony.
Or did Pavo steal it back? It's one of those two.
After everything, the sword still got stolen. Ugh, they should have given it to me from the beginning.
Just keep quiet.
In this case of Gu Yun's theft, everyone involved seems suspicious to some extent. Miss Yun Li is the main suspect. First, during the sword-gifting ceremony, Yun Li openly expressed her intention to steal the sword. She even mentioned it multiple times. After the ceremony, she broke into the Artisanship Commission and destroyed Arumatons in an attempt to get the sword. Am I right?
That's true.
The Realm Keeping Commission inspected the arsenal where Gu Yun was stored, and there were no signs of forced entry through the doors or windows. The only possible entrance or exit was a small window gap, just a few inches wide.
If only you had March 7th. She's a detective.
If March 7th were here, she'd probably jinx it and accidentally reveal who the thief was.
The box containing Gu Yun was opened and the sword went missing, but none of the other swords in the room were touched. Which means...
The suspect knew about the box and the sword.
Well, I do know about the box and the cursed sword.
Exactly. The suspect had a clear motive and took only Gu Yun. So, Besides the ceremony participants, only the delegation members had access to the sword.
Could it be that someone from the delegation stole the sword?
In that case, why would they return it to the Xianzhou in the first place?
Not everyone in the delegation has the same agenda. Perhaps one of them didn't agree with giving it away.
That makes sense. The delegation, led by the Knight of Beauty, delivered the sword to the Artisanship Commission. The craftsmen who received it testified that they didn't take anything from the arsenal.
Could it be that Argenti stole the sword?
Argenti? Oh, that Knight of Beauty. He was with the delegation when they handed over the sword to the Artisanship Commission.
My gosh. really a lot of thunder out there. I have on good word that Argenti's a bit of a scoundrel.
You might not know, but he's the one who recognized the sword's origin on Kalevala and escorted it back to the Xianzhou. In other words, he's the one who made it possible for the sword to come home. So, he wouldn't have gone through all that trouble to bring it to the Law Fu if he wanted to keep the sword for himself, right?
Could it be that a craftsman stole the sword?
Master Gongshu checked the work records, and I questioned all the craftsmen and apprentices who were on shift at the time. But I didn't find any suspicious individuals.
The truth is, I stole the sword.
So? Did you steal it?
No.
Then stop joking around.
I can prove that he came to me after leaving the Artisanship Commission, so he couldn't have stolen the sword.
Put it simply, not everyone who's seen the sword has been to the Artisanship Commission, and not everyone who might want the sword has seen it. So, the only remaining suspect is Miss Yun Li.
Fair enough.
So...
I didn't steal the sword.
Well, when you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
Not really. I think we're missing something here. There's another possibility.
If you want to prove me wrong, you'd better come up with some solid evidence.
The sword stole itself.
Let me gather my thoughts. I need to help Yun Li clear her name. Did we miss any clues?
This companion mission is going on longer than I thought. We're not going to get to the actual event today. That's fine. There's like a month to do the event, I guess. Talk to the witness at the scene and investigate the evidence at the crime scene.
Yun Li says she didn't steal the sword, and I am willing to believe her. But I know well that Yun Li can be impulsive. So if she did steal the sword on a whim, I won't show her any favors. You were with Yun Li yesterday, young man. So you have the chance to prove her innocence. Is there anything you need to ask me?
Did she come to you afterwards?
No, she was still mad at me, so she didn't come by. If she had come with you, she wouldn't be a suspect right now.
How was the sword delivered?
After the ceremony, Argenti carried the sword case, and together with the delegation, they were escorted by the Cloud Knights to the Artisanship Commission. The artisan there confirmed that the sword was safely stored. I'm counting on you, then.
Yes, I received your message yesterday and went to the arsenal to check on it. But when I went back this morning, all that was left was the case. I don't know anything else, so asking more questions won't help, I'm afraid. However, as the Master Artisan of the Artisanship Commission, I've got to clarify something. Even though the sword was stolen, this commission is still highly secure. Wait, no. I just remembered. My precious arumatons were smashed!
I wonder when the real head of the Artisanship Commission is going to come back, because they were away on a trip, and this guy was put in charge. And I guess he's still in charge. I don't know where the other guy went.
Who could have thought that the Miekaki Vesa would be stolen? And that the prime suspect is General Huayan's granddaughter? Regardless, we've accomplished our mission. And now it's the Xianzhou's problem. By the way, why did that girl call it a cursed sword? It's quite upsetting.
Well, apparently it's because the sword can take over the wielder's mind.
That's enough, young man. Now let me get something straight. On Kalevala, this sword has always been highly revered. The first master of the Miekaki Vesa slew countless demons and then passed it down to a line of wise monarchs.
Yes.
The monarchs would heed the guidance of the hero spirits within the sword and gain insight into defeating their enemies.
But was it actually the voice of a Heliobus?
What is, Helio? What? Never mind. The point is that the Miekaki Vesa did help the ancestors of Kalevala build a strong foundation. It's definitely not a cursed sword.
I don't want to make things difficult. For official Dahab, if I can find that cursed sword, I can prove my innocence right away.
That would be convenient. How are you planning on finding it?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. There's something else bothering me. Why would the thief take the sword and leave the case behind? Did they melt down the sword like I wanted to?
Is it really that strange?
I mean, carrying around the sword like that would be pretty conspicuous. Wouldn't a thief prefer to take the case as well?
So yeah. The sword stole itself, because it's of course possessed by a Heliobus, I guess. The container used to seal Gu Yun is indeed a sight to behold. Its beauty is radiant. Perhaps it was this very beauty that has drawn unwanted attention. Regardless, as one of the few pieces of physical evidence left at the scene, it must hold traces of the thief. Sword case lock. The locking mechanism nestled within the case remains intact, bearing no marks of external force or tampering.
So, the thief took the sword from the case without picking the lock.
The sword case, masterfully adorned with metal wire inlays, traces the pattern of lotus flowers, subtly proclaiming its origins from the illustrious Shenzhou Zhuming. You notice a few smears of red along the bottom of the case's interior. It's hard to ignore, as if a deliberate declaration of existence to those who are viewing the sword case. A few petals teetering on the brink of withering. More precisely, a single rose petal. I knew it. That man can't be trusted.
Why is this flower petal inside the case?
You close the sword case and put it back. A rose petal that was caught in the hinge mechanism. You can only think of one person who would leave behind this ostentatious trace wherever he goes.
If you've found any clues, feel free to tell everyone.
It was the Night of Beauty.
I'm not sure if I can convince Mr. Dahl
100% sure. Fine. Let me go through my reasoning again, and you can interrupt if anything feels off.
Also, like, isn't your job to investigate? Why didn't you find these rose petals earlier? Did you even look at the thing?
Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission, and that was Miss Yoon Lee.
Your statement isn't quite accurate. Argenti, the delegation members, and even me, we were all at the Artisanship Commission at some point.
True. But they all left after delivering the sword. And the craftsman overseeing the handover confirmed that they couldn't have left with the sword. We looked into it as well. Before Guyun was handed over, the side crane at the entrance of the Artisanship Commission captured you leaving. But there's no record of Miss Yoon Lee leaving.
Why would I dare leave through the main entrance after smashing the Arumatons?
Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the... Miss Yoon Lee caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission trying to take away Guyun. But you stopped her in her tracks.
What Dahao said seems right. Exactly. So at least Yoon Lee didn't steal the sword at that time, because we were at the Arumaton warehouse.
If your testimony is reliable. I'm not implying anything, but we need to scrutinize every piece of evidence. Miss Yoon Lee caused a ruckus at the Artisanship. After bidding farewell to you, Yoon Lee pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole Guyun.
After Yoon Lee and I went our separate ways, I messaged Master Gongshu to inform him about the incident. And much later, Master Gongshu told me the sword was confirmed safe. So up until that point, Yoon Lee couldn't have stolen it. Can I prove this?
After bidding farewell to you, Yoon Lee pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole Guyun. We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
Looks like you're missing some crucial evidence.
There are no signs of the arsenal being broken into, so...
No. The fact that there are no signs of a break-in is suspicious in itself. Which piece of evidence should I use to convince...
We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
I found this
the rose
crevice
petals
at the bottom of the case.
A rose petal? Huh. I must have missed it during the search.
Come on, Dahao.
Why was there a petal inside the case?
I don't know. But I do know that wherever that Night of Beauty goes, he always leaves behind a trail of rose petals that's almost impossible to clean up.
My thoughts are a mess. Let me sort them out. The sword case was never locked, which is evidence that only someone who delivered the sword could have done that. And the rose petal was probably left behind by that Night of Beauty. But how did he manage to take the sword from the Artisanship Commission? Why did he steal it after returning it here? And why would he leave that petal in the case?
Ask Argenti, not me.
I know. Guyun flew out of the case on its own. The Night of Beauty only unlocked the box to aid its escape.
Don't be ridiculous. How can a sword escape from a case on its own?
So it was both the sword escaped and Argenti stole it at the same time? My gosh.
You've never seen a flying sword before?
I've only heard about the Mieka Kifesa being able to fly in legends. But even if it could fly, why would the Night of Beauty do this?
Like I said, the sword contains a heliobus. Argenti must have been under the control of the sword. Maybe he was under its control even before you arrived on the Lofu.
Official Dahao, where can we find that knight?
Let me see. The docking location of Argenti's ship. The one and only.
Time to fight him again? Please don't say that.
Let's go. We've got to find Argenti before that sword completely takes over his mind.
I will actually quit.
Let me stay here a little longer in this body.
Success and failure, you can't change it no matter how hard you try.
I had a different experience looking down on Starskip Haven from
Does he have a chair? That's pretty cool, actually. In the corner of the Starskip Haven, you stumble upon a knight clad in shimmering silver armor. "15th day of month 10, 1604. What is happening?"
I've been waiting for you here for quite a while.
Knight of Beauty. You're the one who stole Guyun, right? Hand it over. You have no idea how dangerous that cursed sword is.
Dangerous? In my humble opinion, the real danger is always the hand wielding the weapon.
Why steal Guyun now?
Please allow me to correct your statement. I never attempted to steal this weapon. As a Drilla's knight, I've sworn to live in poverty and possess only what is necessary.
What? What do you mean?
I agreed to assist Master Guyun in its escape from the Xianzhou. As the person who pulled it from the stone monument, captivated by its beauty, I must not let it down. I couldn't stay in the arsenal to convince the craftsman, nor did I want to take the sword like a thief. That's why I left behind a small piece of evidence that pointed to my identity in the hope of an open and honest conversation with you.
Whatever your reasons are, you're planning to take the cursed sword away from the Xianzhou. Hand it over to me.
Back then, it was the beauty of Master Guyun that impressed me. So I willingly embarked on the journey to return the sword. But unfortunately, Master Guyun's homeland is no longer the ideal place for it to return to. As a Knight of Beauty, I must not abandon it halfway.
Oh no. He's completely captivated by the power of that cursed sword.
No, this is just Argenti. No, that's just him.
The solution is right in your hand.
Please, no.
Captivated? No! I am touched by Master Guyun's flawless beauty. To be honest, I'm confused why none of you can understand this sword. This is quite heartrending. I've already made up my mind to take Master Guyun away from the Xianzhou.
That cursed sword has messed with your ability to think. But I'll break you free from its grip. I'll shatter its illusion. And the sword itself.
Fair lady, if you're intent on taking away this person, this sword that is under my protection, please engage me with a fair duel according to knightly etiquette.
No.
As a representative of this duel, I, Argenti, challenge you.
I refuse.
I swear on the spirit of chivalry, in front of Adrilla the Beauty, that I will represent Master Guyun in this duel. If I win, you will allow Master Guyun to leave the Xianzhou with me. And if you best me, Miss Yunli, I'll accept my defeat and turn Master Guyun over to you.
It's okay, you can leave. I give up. I surrender.
Do you accept my challenge, Miss Yunli?
Fine. Let's see whose desire is stronger. Your desire to take it away, or my desire to hunt down all cursed swords.
I mean, I believe in Heliobi liberation anyway, so like, you're cool, you can go.
Show me what you've got.
I can't believe this game is making us fight him
You're
again.
not going to use Guyan to fight for victory?
Well, I know a thing or two about swordplay. In a proper duel like this,
This is
the knight
actually
should rely
crazy.
on the skills he's honed day and night.
You're a real weirdo.
I cannot believe they're doing this again.
Another journey begins.
Until everything burns to ashes! Set the seas ablaze!
SAS knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
You're fighting a gentleman. Put forth all your might.
Fight to live!
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
No matter all things in this world, human creations. Set the seas ablaze!
I'm asking questions.
Bear witness.
Yin and yang. I see through you.
If we don't win this the first time, I'm quitting, guys.
Free will, or was it fate? Still waters of oblivion.
Attack!
Let the duel commence. Confess.
Attack detected.
Converge and awaken.
Joining the battle.
Another journey begins.
That didn't kill it? Oh my gosh.
Destined for oblivion. Again.
Put forth all your might.
Yin and yang.
He's getting so many damage boosters on this one.
Human creations.
If I have Ron May? No, I don't like Ron May.
Behold, the symbol of pure.
Set in position. Detonate.
Until everything burns to ashes! Fight to live!
Free will, or was it fate? Still waters of oblivion.
Your answers?
You're fighting a gentleman.
Feel better if we had someone different from Dr. Ratio for this fight.
Yang. Firefly Type 4 in position.
Now they all have shields, huh? Okay.
Set the seas ablaze! I see through you.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Confess.
Fight to live!
God, he got 9 damage boost on this. We're not surviving phase 2.
SAS knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
Rise to the challenge.
Another journey begins.
0 points. Joining the battle. Attack!
Bear witness.
I'm asking questions.
Converge and awaken. Human creations.
Detonate.
Until everything burns to ashes! Hit to death!
Rise to the challenge. You're fighting a gentleman. Let's try more.
Attack detected. Set the scene aflame. A quick divination.
Put forth all your might.
Yin and yang.
Behold, this symbol of pure.
I see through you.
When is Honkai gonna release a survey so I can complain to them about always using Argenti in fights?
Hesitation.
Destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Your answers?
Rise to confess. Put forth all your might.
Must be a fan favorite. Yeah, maybe in the office or something.
Converge and awaken. Human creations.
Didn't even have a voice for like 5 updates.
Like fire until everything burns to ashes.
Let's try more.
Set the scene aflame.
Not even, just now getting the phase 2.
Bear witness. Let the duel commence.
SAS, knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
Attack detected. This is more than battle. Fight to live.
0 points.
Attack detected.
You're fighting a gentleman. Put forth all your might.
Stay with you a little longer.
Bound to return.
I forgot Fushuin can revive people now. It's not over yet.
Set the scene aflame. I see through you.
Test. Free.
Behold, this symbol of pure. Let the duel commence. Attack.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
A quick divination. Together as one. Human creations.
Let's try more.
Yin and yang. Like firefly until everything burns to ashes.
Put forth all your might.
Fight to live.
I'm asking questions. SAS, knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
Put forth all your might.
Firefly type will set the scene aflame.
0 points.
It came together.
Free.
Destined for oblivion.
Fight to live.
Your answers?
I see through you.
Bear witness.
22%.
You're fighting a gentleman.
Detonate.
Another journey begins. still waters of oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Yoshuin's dead. Lasted longer than I expected. Alright, Firefly. Please get your ultimate. She didn't get her ultimate. We were so close. We were so close to victory. And now I can't ever play this game again.
Let me stay here a little longer in this.
Dang. Feels bad.
This place is so warm. It's like, I wonder if there's an event.
Hey guys. Turning back the clock to when March 7th had just begun studying swordplay.
All right. Now that you're in position, Miss March, let's get this lesson started.
I'm not good at acting all master-like. Since Grandpa asked me to teach you swordplay, I won't hold back any secrets.
Oh, thank you so much, Masters. Oh, wait. Does this mean our training is only officially starting right now?
After all, we need to watch you practice for a few days before we can figure out how talented you are, right?
So, how'd I do, Master?
I just realized the sensor bar is still on the screen.
You're definitely talented, Miss March.
Hey, here you are. Did you hear that? These two masters just called me a swordplay genius.
That's our march.
Just wait until I go back. Everyone's going to be so wowed by my new skills.
Swordplay requires rigorous training. Before we start, Miss March, you need to find a clear reason to keep you motivated while you train. It doesn't have to be something huge, but it needs to be clear.
In other words, even though you didn't exactly choose to be our apprentice, you still need to take the initiative during this learning process.
I once had the honor of learning swordplay from a master. She asked me why I started training at such a young age, why I wielded a sword. So, for our first lesson, I'd like to ask you the same question, Miss March. Why do you wield your sword?
Why do I wield my sword? I wield my sword to take down my enemies. I mean, what other reason is there?
I also questioned that sword master about why she uses her sword, and she said, to vanquish my enemies, nothing more. Miss March, you gave a similar response, which shows you've got potential.
But if you just want to take down your enemies, you can stick to your bow.
The best way to take down your enemy is with a blaster gun. I heard a hero say something like that in an immersia. He also mentioned that sword training can push a person's physical abilities to their ultimate limit.
Seems like you've seen your fair share of immersion, Miss March. But if you want my opinion, if your goal is self-improvement, you'll feel just as accomplished even if you put down the sword and go back to your bow.
Oh, come on. Don't listen to his empty talk.
Oh, now I'm curious to hear what Master Yunli has to say.
Let me ask you something, March. Do you have any specific goals for learning swordplay? Like achieving a certain ranking in the war dance, or maybe you want to defeat someone, like Yanqing, or me?
Who do I want to defeat? Him? Dan Heng? Himeko? Or Mr. Yang?
If you can't think of anyone specific, why not set a simpler goal? Like, how many opponents do you want to defeat at once with a sword?
10 billion.
I'll fight 10!
10?
Not far off.
Oops, that just slipped out. It's actually another line from an immersia.
Having 5 enemies on the other side's kind of the limit.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think I figured out what's motivated March to learn swordplay.
Could it possibly be immersia about swordmasters?
Hey, now that you mention it, that actually makes sense. I'm super interested in Xianzhou immersia and novels. Even though I use a bow, almost all the great heroes in those immersia use swords. So I want to be a swordmaster too.
See?
It sounds like you've developed a stereotype for about heroes.
It doesn't matter. Everyone has their own preferences.
Becoming a swordmaster who fights for justice and battles evil? Well, that's definitely a good reason to keep you motivated in swordplay training.
Now that you've both given your approval, I have another small request. I want to perform a tea ceremony to honor you as my masters. Remember, you'll need to tap the table a few times with your fingers.
Tea ceremony? Tap the table? Do we have to be so serious about accepting an apprentice for the first time?
Please? That's how those heroes in the immersia show their respect.
They always kneel and bow in those shows, right?
That's even more unnecessary.
Let's just stop wasting time. Just treat us to some milk tea. And then we can start our real swordplay training, okay?
I could go for some Immortal's Delight.
Yeah! Alright, let's go. To the Sleepless Earl.
Wave Primaveral Blade.
I'm planning on quitting my job at this.
Hey, this is not how it's supposed to be,
This
right?
guy again.
Well, Xianzhou is known for its tea culture and hospitality, but you're not treating me like a guest at all. Seriously, am I not a guest?
Dear guest.
Stop! Don't call me a guest. You're not even treating me as one. I want my tea just right. Not too hot, not too cold, but the tea you served was either freezing or scalding. Is this how you treat your guest on the Xianzhou? How fantastic!
I'd rather see this guy any day compared to Argentine.
Your tea tastes like slop, and you even have the nerve to charge me for it! Are you trying to scam honest folks? And that name, the Sleepless Earl, it's so hard to remember. How about we give you a new plaque that says, Xianzhou Slop? It suits this place better, don't you think?
Let's just beat this guy up.
Stop! You've gone too far!
Oh, who's that trying to be a hero?
It's me, March 7th. Cause more trouble and I'll show you who your mommy is. Wait, that sounded lame.
Yeah.
Hey, say something for me.
She's the sword champion of the Astral Express.
That's right! I'm the sword champion!
Never heard of you. Now scurry back to wherever you crawled out from.
Mr. Scott, I'm Yenching, a Cloud Knight Lieutenant. We've met before, and I suggest you stop causing trouble.
And you know who I am.
Trouble? Ha! I'm just giving some feedback as a regular customer. The tea here is terrible, and now the Cloud Knights want to stop me from complaining about it? At this rate, who would want to ever come here for tea in the future?
A regular customer? You?
Yeah, what else would I be? The Xianzhou's prisoner?
Anyway, if you're trying to bully this young lady, you'd better watch out for the weapon in my hand.
Huh? Oh, that really scares me. Come on, you're not seriously trying to take my life with that piece of scrap metal, are you?
Scrap metal? This is my sword! I'm here to learn Xianzhou swordplay.
Swordplay? Oh, I get it now. It's just another kind of play, right? That explains why you're dressed like you're in a show. You're not even from the Xianzhou, so why bother learning their swordplay? If you're feeling unsafe, I can sell you an IPC mech.
Ha! As if anyone wants your junkyard scrap mechs.
I mean, I kind of want a mech. March can cut through your mechs with a single slash.
Oh, how marvelous! How about you show me then? Well, guess it's time to show these bumpkins something serious.
A few IPC mechs respawn and appear at the Sleepless Earl. You can just summon mechs? I feel like this is
a IPC members. Street fighting on the Xianzhou Lafu is prohibited.
I also feel like this is an act of aggression that could probably be taken very seriously by the government.
Make any funny moves, and I'll smash that scrap metal.
Hey, relax. I know the rules. These are my subordinates. They got stuck here because of the transport ship incident, and they need to vent their frustration. In the end, it's all the Xianzhou's fault. Well, I can overlook the terrible tea, but now that you're questioning my security, I can't let it slide. After all, I have a courier business to run, and with so many clients watching, that just wouldn't look too good now, would it? Instead of wasting your life learning useless swordplay, why not invest in our civilian mechs? You'll have your master kneeling and begging for mercy in no time.
Stop! Don't you dare insult Xianzhou swordplay like that! If you have the guts, I'll show your mechs what I can do.
Huh? A fight, you say? Now that you've thrown down the gauntlet, March 7th, I feel I'm obliged to accept your challenge. Say whatever you want, but once you've seen what our mechs can do, you'll be practically begging us for them.
Let's make a bet.
Oh, come on! How could I say no to a bet?
I guess you don't remember the last one.
So, I can see you're no master yet, March, but I'll play fair. You go back and learn swordplay from your teachers here, and in 15 days, I'll come find you and challenge you with my mechs.
Only 15 days? All right. Fine.
And if you lose, you'll have to bark like a dog in public and shout, "Xianzhou swordplay is a total joke!" You'll stand at the entrance of our room alley and say it to everyone passing by.
I'm glad he already suggested this, because I was going to make him bark, actually.
Oh, and if that's the case, just forget about your master and become my apprentice instead. I'll teach you how to pilot a mech.
And if I win?
I'll become your apprentice?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't like you.
Okay, how about this? If I lose, I'll squeal like a pig in public and say, IPC mechs are a total joke! And I'll even print that on every mech on the transport ship. Deal?
I feel like this has happened before.
Squealing isn't enough. You also need to apologize to the owner of the Sleepless Earl and take back what you said about Xianzhou swordplay.
Fine, I get it. But you've got to actually beat me with that little scrap of metal first. You all heard it, right? We'll meet again in 15 days. Let's go.
Well, That was crazy.
I'm still worried about the owner. Let's go check on her.
The Xianzhou and IPC signed a trade agreement, so those IPC people won't dare to cause any trouble. But, I mean, a bet like this is quite unexpected. The Xianzhou...
No, not you.
Ugh. Those IPC guys just want to pick on an easy target so they can promote their scrap metal. So typical.
Hey, you got any Immortals that liked?
Are you okay?
Oh, yes. Thank you all for your timely help. The shop facing a bit of flack from visitors is a minor issue, but Miss March's decisions to challenge him is serious. Oh, I feel responsible, as if the shop has inconvenienced you.
Don't worry. I can't stand by and watch someone be bullied. I have to stand up against injustice, no matter what.
Oh, not only do you speak like a hero from an immersia, but you also have a kind heart. Your charisma has completely won me over, Miss March.
I'm not quite a hero. Yet.
I know you're here for the tea ceremony. Please, come inside.
Thanks for the invitation, but right now, I just want to focus on practicing swordplay. Masters, let's save the tea for later.
But my Immortal's Delight.
Sure, the tea can wait for now. However, I have a question, Miss March. How confident are you about the bet you just made?
I don't think she's given it any thought.
Come on, how could I possibly lose?
I mean, that's true.
You're right. It seems she really hasn't considered anything. I don't see any issue with it. Let March give it a shot. As long as she trains diligently, I believe she can easily deal with that hunk of IPC scrap metal.
As long as she trains diligently.
I'm now filled with determination, Masters. I'll learn swordplay well and teach that guy a lesson. You're my most trusted friend. You'll be my assistant teacher and make sure I learn swordplay properly.
Do I get paid?
Hey, when have I ever treated you poorly?
Do you want a list?
Masters, Mr. Teaching Assistant, let's go back and start the training now.
What type of tea can I interest you in?
Just gonna buy some Immortal's Delight for myself.
I'm planning on quitting my job. Whoa.
That IPC guy will show up in 15 days. I've got to become a swordmaster by then.
Becoming a swordmaster in a mere 15 days is quite challenging.
I don't think you need to be a sword master. You just know how to. You just need to be able to beat the mechs, which is pretty easy.
But we can't lose our momentum, Master Yun Li.
Momentum alone will only keep you going for about 3 days. If you really want to stick with it, you need a solid plan.
No worries. I've found my professional teaching assistant to help me organize the lessons, so there won't be any problems.
I'll be sure to help.
Rest assured, Masters. If not in me, at least place your faith in him, my trusty sidekick.
Now hold on a second.
Miss March is really
Pretty sure
passionate
you're my
about learning
sidekick.
swordplay, and now she has a clear goal in mind. That's a good thing for her. There are many ways to defeat villains, but if you want to become a true hero, you have to focus on self-improvement. I hope you will always remember this, Miss March.
Got it. It's all etched into my memory.
At least I can add TA to my resume.
Since you've got that in mind, it's time for me to set some targets for you.
Please, go ahead, Master Yunli.
We'll have 3 exams during these 15 days. If you pass our tests, those pieces of IPC scrap won't stand a chance. But if you fail...
That would mean Yunli is a terrible teacher. And if that's the case, I hope you won't force yourself to take on the challenge, Miss March.
Hey! You are the terrible teacher here.
I understand. In the Immersia, the disciple and the master share both honor and disgrace. If the apprentice fails, the master loses face too.
Well, there aren't that many customs on the Xianzhou. I'm just worried about you getting hurt.
But as long as you practice diligently and pass the tests, we'll feel confident about your duel. Now, let's go back to the first question I asked you. I'm sure you found a reason to wield your sword, right, Miss March?
Absolutely! I wield my sword to become a hero! I want to fight for justice, punish the wicked, and make them quiver in fear and run away when they see me!
Then keep that fire burning, and learn with all your heart.
You haven't said much, Mr. Teaching Assistant. Any suggestions before we officially start training?
Friends on the road bring twists of the fate.
What, twists? Like the ones in those Swordmaster novels? But I wonder what kind of unexpected twists I'll encounter.
Bump into a lonely ghost, accidentally consume a divine elixir, unlock an ingenious enigma, receive guidance from a sage.
It'd be pretty awesome if that actually happened. That's enough chit-chat for now. Don't forget to keep an eye on my swordplay practice.
Pass the first trial. Plan swordplay lessons. 4 days until the sword trial. As the swordplay assistant, you'll arrange March 7's swordplay sessions and help her with mastering sword moves to prepare her to defeat Scott in 15 days. Miss March, the key to mastering the sword lies in understanding various sword moves. Cut the fluff, let March get hands-on and learn a few sword moves directly. Oh my gosh, the talent tree. Swordplay is the very essence of all sword moves and can unleash immense power in combat. Let's start by setting a tiny goal. Learn the sword move, Cutting Cold. Learn the sword move, Cutting Cold. Has a chance of being triggered at the start of the turn, unleashing sword ki via Weeping Dusk Wind, dealing damage to a single target. Set this swordplay as your learning goal and you can check the required stats for mastering it here. So 150 strength required. You can boost your stats by setting up targeted training sessions, practicing exactly what you need to improve.
I'll fight 10!
Guan Mai leads the way. Wu Wing leads to To Gwyn. To Grin leads to Do Yu. You keep muttering these words. Do you even know what they mean? Absolutely not. 996, 997, 998. It's actually 9,000, but 10,000. You've only swung it 5 times. You look at. You must not lose the vigor, Master. March, hang in there. Woof. It's only 2 diddings. Nice work. I'll add 1 more for you. No. You're holding nothing at all. Woof. Why was that just now? It's me, Woof. You're lying. What?
That's enough training for today. I need time to absorb everything.
Training will consume mood. If my mood isn't good, efficiency will also decrease. Balance, work, and rest is crucial. Click here to schedule an excursion to restore mood. I mean, we don't need to do 4 excursions. She's already at max mood, so let's go do some more strength. Swordplay sessions can take a lot of time. Click here to speed up the passage of time. Back and forth are always practicing crosstalk at Tharskiff Haven Dock. You pass by with March. Let's listen to what these 2 are talking about. Huh, these 2 are using the same old jokes to trick the audience again, so the 2 of you heckled back and forth, who are forced to practice. With the combined comedic talent of us 2, we're more than stage ready. Our comedic okay, well, I didn't even speed it up. March and you are invited by Gwenifin to the Exulting Sanctum Plaza to watch her perform. Gwenifin has genuine talent. The simplicity of her performance speaks volume, and the elaboration is never overdone. March falls silent in tense moments and cheers at exciting ones, completely immersed in the performance. March, wanna try? Alright, please lie down right here and I'll smash this boulder on your chest. Nearing the ward ends, many unfamiliar travelers appear at Starskiff Haven. A disheveled, unkempt old man accosts March. He observes her extraordinary physique and is persistent in his hawking of martial arts secret manuals. But the old man has a rule: only 1 manual may be sold. At this moment, March faces a choice.
What do you recommend?
Oh, we can get like extra stats and stuff. That's cool. This one sad name for a sword move. And then we're training again. March, hang in there. Woof. Can't skip them, but you can speed it up.
I learned so much today. Another step closer to star-crazing glass greatsword.
Hold on a second. All right. We're at 128 out of 150.
Let's do this.
Oh, it just like actually skips the whole thing though. If we totally speed it up.
So much today.
After improving the training level, the training effects will also be improved. March's progress is incredible, already qualified to fully master Cutting Cold. Of course, let me fully grasp it. The next goal is to build on this move and learn the next level of swordplay. Oh, I totally get it. That's my new goal. We're just gonna go down the middle path then. Although it does require tenacity, and this one also does require tenacity, so 500 strength? How much are we quantifying strength here? What does 500 strength mean? That's a lot of strength, it sounds like. Oh, we should train on tenacity up, because then we can get to level 2, which would be good.
Let's do this.
Ouch! Wow, wow, wow! But I'm the one being hit, right? Maybe you shouldn't talk. Alas, it fell on me in the end. Yin Qing extracts the Cloud Knight's officer's combat record from the Seat of Divine Foresight. Observing a seasoned Cloud Knight's spontaneous insight is great help to sword practice. Using Butterfly Mercia, March can feel as if she's personally in the war dance arena. Countless blades brush past within inches of flesh, truly intense and thrilling. Yin Qing asks March what she's feeling.
How should I go about this?
Let's actually boost mood.
I'm not sure.
I meant to ask besides that part. Come on, come on. The gong does sound and the shows abound. Today's showstopper. Who knew there was a way to train like this? Some of them move really fast and some of them don't. March and you are invited by Gwenaifen to the Exalting Sanctum to watch her perform. So once you can't speed it up once it's started. And you can't skip through it. And this is the same one, okay. Plastic smashing on the chest. I've never heard of this. Can plastic really bring benefits of training, Master?
That's enough training for today.
Today, you'll face your first test. It's all about the basics.
Oh, I know. It's float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, right?
That's boxing? But close enough, I guess.
Grasping the basics is crucial to mastering swordplay, Miss March. Focus on wielding your sword properly, making your thrusts swift and strikes brisk.
And parries should be fluid and nimble. Got it.
See? Even March is getting bored of your rambling.
But I'm actually not bored at all.
Miss March is still a novice, so I'm giving her some tips on the basics to help her better understand them. Neglecting the basics will only make you vulnerable in a fight. Even for an extraordinary sword master like you, Yun Li.
Just focus on your teaching. Why bring me into this?
What? Didn't General Huyan offer you any guidance?
Looks like your general hasn't told you to stop hopping around like a sparrow in a fight, huh?
Let's focus on the tests, Masters.
Miss March has been learning the basics of swordplay, and now it's time to put her knowledge to the test.
Unsheath your swords and show me what you've got, March.
According to the schedule, there's a test today, right? I'm ready.
The sword trial must be completed by March alone. The entire battle will proceed automatically and no assistance from teammates is allowed. The higher the sword ascension rank, the easier it is to pass the trial. Successfully completing the trial will enhance her stats and restore her mood. Oh. Well, fascinating.
Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less cards, watch
So a cold cut's like a special ability that triggers.
Not very Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less cards, watch Oh, I get it!
Your progress in the art of swordplay has been remarkably fast. It is truly commendable.
Looks like I passed the test, right?
Yeah. Well done. You passed with flying colors.
Great! Hey, hurry up and congratulate me.
Congrats.
I couldn't have done it without my masters and you, Mr. Teaching Assistant. So if I were to take on that IPC guy now, what would you say are my chances?
You already have a martial arts background and plenty of real combat experience. With swordplay guidance from me and Yun Li, if you were to challenge the IPC's security mechs now, I believe...
You wouldn't stand a chance.
Yun Li's... right.
No chance? Hey, are you trying to crush my confidence? I'm the kind of girl who performs better when I'm showered with praise, just so you know.
Nah, the mechs are pretty easy though, like let's be honest.
I'm not that confident. But thank you for believing in me.
I thought teaching March was just something of a hobby. But now, actually seeing her progress gives me a sense of accomplishment.
Oh, really? So now you finally acknowledge her talent, Master Yun Li? Don't worry, Miss March. I've been serious about teaching you from the start.
Oh, don't try to cause a rift between us. Every move and technique I taught March is straight from the Juming art of swordplay.
15 days of training is short, Miss March. Whether you pass or fail this test, I hope you'll continue with the basics, because that's your best shot at winning. After every test, the General would take me to the Artisanship Commission for sword maintenance. Let's go, Miss March. Today, I'll follow the General's example as a way of acknowledging your progress.
Thank you, Master Yanqing.
Moments later, in the dark corner of the Lo Fu.
So, have you found any information about her?
Yeah, that girl is one of the nameless on the Astral Express. Oh, she's no pushover. Don't you think this bet's a bit too risky?
Yeah, it is. So what? Have you seen those big shots in the Strategic Investment Department? Do they ever make safe bets?
I guess not.
She thinks she can fool me by flying under the radar? You there! Get me the most powerful mech we've got!
The most powerful mech.
Understood. Checking the inventory now.
Now I'm curious to see what this 15-day crash course apprentice is really capable of.
Another new move under my belt. I gotta find time to try it out.
So like, it wants us to go down here. Are we gonna be able to, I don't know if we're gonna, are we actually gonna be able to get all of these in 10 more days? I don't feel like 10 days is enough to get all of these. But maybe it all adds up, because they all do like kind of require different amounts. So like, this one only has 50 tenacity, which we are above. So if we got strength at 250 would be okay, and I would unlock other things, I guess. Maybe it works out. I don't know. But we'll have to end it there. There's actually a reset button. That's interesting. So I guess if there's a reset button, then I guess you could do it poorly. Save and exit your current training progress. Choose to quit training and erase. Oh, interesting. So you can just forfeit as well. Huh. Okay. Well, we'll save. Save that. Continue that later. Tomorrow is Arc Nights, though. EX levels. If we finish that tomorrow completely, then we can come back to this. If not, we're just gonna do EX levels until we beat them. And come back to this when we get the next opportunity to do so. Didn't mean to do the companion mission. Then I figured it'd go by quick, but it was actually pretty long. And then, of course, they made us fight Argenti, which is just... no. We'll have to do that at some point, though. But for now, thank you all for watching. And until we meet again, may the sands of time treat you well.